Okay, so we're already at the... Okay, it's not the final boss. I'm gonna be blunt. It's not the final boss, but... Yeah, we're already at the second King Arthur fight. This game is really not long at all when it comes to the story, but... Oh yeah, this piece. Oh, yes.
I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, Knight of the Wind. Let's settle this once and for all, King Arthur.
It seems your impersonation of a knight has improved somewhat.
I have you to thank for that.
Then let us have another look at that unsightly swordsmanship.
You're gonna be sorry you asked. This is it, old pal.
Indeed. Give it everything you have. Only then will you prevail.
Then bring it on, King Arthur!
I love that instrumental version of Night of the Wind. It's just... Ah, so good! Oh, yes. Anyways, though, this is the second and final King Arthur fight, and he puts up a lot more of a challenge here, because there's a lot more attacks that he uses, and they're a lot more difficult to avoid than he didn't really attack you at all in the first fight. He basically just he basically just did this, and yeah, he didn't really attack you directly at any point. Basically, it's the same deal as before. Attack when the Wii remotes appear on the screen, but it's a little bit harder to like not really telegraph it, but it's a little bit harder to react because sometimes it'll like switch out a lot more than in the first one, where it's like what was it? What was it? Okay. Okay, so what was I gonna say? Like it kind of fakes you out a lot more here, whereas like it gets a slow one and a fast one, and yeah, it's a lot harder to anticipate it here. So don't expect to get this guy on your first go, because you may have some trouble. It's definitely not that hard once you know what to do, but it's definitely a lot more challenging than the first one. And you're done. And Fight the Knight is a really cool song. It's definitely not one of my favorites. It's definitely not one of my favorite Crush 40 songs. What is with me? I'm burping in the middle of commentaries. It's definitely not one of my favorite Crush 40 songs, but it's enjoyable.
I am immortal. You cannot defeat me.
That sounds familiar.
Now, Sonic, the three sacred swords.
Got it!
And it's gonna create a Triforce. Duh. And Sonic commits murder in 3, 2, 1. There. Yeah, he flat out kills King Arthur. Oh dear. Yeah, he's dead.
Yes! I did it!
I committed murder! Oh dear. But yeah, that's the first half of the game. Yeah, this game is really not long at all. The second half is, like, again, I kind of don't want to call it a second half because it's not even. It's shorter than this part, than the first half, quote unquote, or whatever you want to call it. But it's definitely a lot longer than. What was it? The second half of the game isn't like Secret Rings, where you have to get like all the MacGuffins and then you fight the final boss. Here, it's a natural continuation of the storyline, and there's more missions, and more the levels you go through are new. So, and there's a lot of changes actually, but we'll get to them. well, not really changes per se, but there's a lot of new things that are added. So each and every one, till this war is won. To rule by the sword, slashing through the every inch of the power. Okay, I'm gonna stop. To the wind. Yeah, I don't really want to say too much here, because again, I'd like to share my final thoughts for the actual end. Pain and fear on the ground, to the sky, face of you and I. In a flash, I'm gone, holding your crown high. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Till this war is won, and I live to rule by the sword, slashing through the every inch of the power you said. As I stand by the table, I command my kingdom. I'm the knight of the wind, the knight of the wind. Field Crew Service Corporation. Yoshihiro Sakuta. There. Japanese names. I can't pronounce them. I'm sorry. I'm ruining the song. Yay. And all of the fans. See, even though this fan base can be kind of, what is it? What am I trying to say? Even though the Sonic fan base can be kind of like questionable sometimes, a lot of the time rather, Sega still, Sonic Team rather, and Sega I guess, still appreciate the fan base. Like, for all the crap they give, for all the crap we give them, they still appreciate us, and that's kind of crazy. Because if I was them, I'd just be like, screw you guys, I'm out. I'm not making any more. I'm not making any more games. Like, screw you guys. Anyways, though, the game's not over yet, as we can see here. But one thing I want to show off is that you can see here. Well, there's obviously one more thing that you can unlock, but we'll get to that after this level, actually. But style change. Basically, you have 3 different styles that you can do. You can use. So you have speed, attack, and you're balanced. I'm gonna keep it balanced with Knight, But yeah, basically you see that it says, oh, you need 32 more stars to the next proficiency level, which is basically how many stars you need until you can level up. So you have different abilities for all 3 different styles. So yeah, you can have a field day trying to unlock all of those abilities, because it's gonna take some time. And yeah, he just disappeared.
We have orders from the king. Have you any last words?
Your king was nothing more than an illusion my grandfather conjured up. You'd better start explaining, Merlina.
Merlina!
So at this point of the game, Sonic has all of their sacred swords. So how do they plan on trying to kill Merlina, for lack of a better word? Like, I don't know.
There was never any King Arthur.
Just punch her to death, like, yeah, sexual abuse, I don't know. Well, not really sexual abuse, but,
And thank you, Sonic.
what is it? I don't know what to call it. Well, to be fair,
With
Percival's
this
female,
scabbard,
so,
I erased my grandfather's greatest mistake.
That would be kind of awkward, like, just seeing them just punch Merlina to death, like, what? But I don't know, I'm thinking way too far into this. But yeah, this plot twist, first time playing, I actually didn't expect this. Like, it kind of makes sense, like, why she's doing this, but it's not, like, super obvious. Like, it actually is a legitimate surprise when you first play, I want to say. And this part is awesome. Yeah, they don't have their swords, so what do they expect to do? Hell yeah! Okay, so all the missions in this second half of the game, or the story-based ones, minus the final boss, they're all beat the clock missions. So yeah, basically you have to escape this castle before it collapses or whatever, and the whole castle's collapsing. What is it? So yeah, you have to. It's basically all these levels are on a time limit, but they never feel like. It never feels like it's not really a demanding time limit. Like, it's kind of like Green Forest in SA2, where you have like what 8 minutes and you can beat the level in like what 4 or even less than that. And I don't know, like the timer doesn't really. It doesn't really like. What was it? And that was owned. Yep, a reference to Secret Rings of Razor Chin. I like little touches like that. But yeah, the timer really shouldn't be a bother, just at all really. Even if you're using the attack-oriented skill, which is slower, because you still have a lot of time to work with here. So it's only going to be an issue if you just suck at the game for whatever reason, or you just keep dying. So yeah, even then, it's kind of hard to like time out. But yeah, don't touch these slimes because they'll actually poison you, and I think it will slowly decrease your rings. So and jump! Dang it, I messed up. Okay, so this part up here. Basically, it's like it's like that section in Deep Woods where you're riding on a vehicle essentially, and you just kind of slash your sword when you see enemies pop up. So, except for this time, you're attacking enemies in front of you rather than behind you. So. Alright. We're almost at the end. Yeah, doing this won't really do anything, but it's something you can do, I guess, if you're bored. Alright. Yeah, one thing that I've heard some people say is that the sword swings feel a little bit unresponsive. I personally don't find that. Like, what is it? You have to wait a second to like do another attack if you're doing like ground combat like this. You can't keep slashing because like you have to wait until Sonic stops, like finishes his attack. But in terms of like being responsive, I find the game to be really like responsive in terms of like picking up your commands, I guess. Like, I've never really found an issue with the inputs, really, but that's just me. Like, maybe you guys have found that it doesn't really pick up your sword swings very well, but for me, I haven't really found that. I find that it works really well. And you can also guard on walls, but I rarely, if ever, use that, so. Alright, we're coming up to the end soon. Just like this section here, and it should be good. Alright. And there we go. Alright, but yeah, I believe there's a upgrade to the Soul Surge that makes it so you can blast away and not worry about running into obstacles. It basically just you basically just run past them without taking damage, which is pretty cool.
So, it was all part of Merlina's plot.
It keeps spreading.
It's only a matter of time before the kingdom is consumed.
All dirty jokes here. Insert here. Oh dear.
Stand and watch our kingdom's ruin?
Gawain.
What? Are you gonna give up just like that? Is that the best that chivalry of yours can do?
How dare you!
Listen, it's like I said before. Isn't there more to being a knight than serving a king?
Sir Sonic is right. And there's still time if you act now. Use the sacred swords to form a barrier around the castle.
Yeah, because apparently Sonic can throw 4 swords at the same time.
For the kingdom and
Yeah.
its people!
I'm counting on you.
Sir Sonic, what will you do?
Once the barrier's up, I'll look for a chance to jump in.
Surely you jest.
Nah, it's just how I roll.
Fare thee well. We too shall fulfill our appointed task.